Good evening, everyone. How you doing? Welcome to tonight's trains stream. We are back with the Class 90 stream, which we've been promising for a couple of weeks. Here it is. We're at Glasgow. We're going all the way down to Preston. So it's a combination of West Coast Main Line North and the West Coast Main Line over Shap. Some kind person has stuck it all together for us so we can do it in one go. I think it's about 193 miles, I think. So once again, it's a decent run, some nice scenery. So no dramas tonight. Let's just enjoy ourselves. I think we're in the AP Class 90, of course. Oxenholme, says Dave. Yeah, we are. I'm going to loosely say we're stopping at Oxenholme. We're meant to stop at Oxenholme. I'll show you the schedule once we get the doors open. Oxenholme is on the list, though. And so is Penrith. And you know what happens with the Class 86 stream. So, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Gooby, what a legend. He's donated the £2 super chat. You bought your ticket. Get your cup of tea. I've got a big cup of tea right here because this is going to be a long one. I'm going to try and do it in one go. With no breaks. I'm going to sip the tea as I go. So thank you, Scooby, for that. Much, much appreciated. And just like that, you've shot up to number 3 in the old points rankings there. So who have we got? We've got Lamore, G. Dave, Bournes, Animal, Great Western. I'm scanning. 156 Andrew, good evening. Adam, good evening. Scooby, of course. Kevin, good evening. How are you? And that's all I can see. We did have Stace in earlier, but I think she's disappeared. If she hasn't disappeared, that'll make her say something. Drink tea in one go. What, the whole pint? I've got a pint right here. Anyway, without further ado, shall I take it off pause? That might be a good idea. I'll put the hood back on. We'll pop back inside. Get the doors open, of course, and then we need to set up the cab, ready to go. So we'll go master key, and we'll just cancel that. We'll stay neutral for now. We've got the ETS, we need that. Headlights, of course, are over here, so we'll do that. Then we need the instrument lights, which we'll do from over here, shall we? We'll have those on bright, I think. Tail lights are off. What else have we got? Marker lights. Yeah, we should have the marker lights on. I think we should all be good with that. Let's just check outside. I've already got the tail lights on, so we're all ready to go from that perspective. Schedule-wise, let's have a quick look. So, this is back to the good old days. Hello, driver. You're taking this Class 90 and 9 Mark III coaches and DVT on a semi-fast to Preston on this newly merged route, courtesy of, there you go, Pete Mitchell. Please open the doors, set up the train, ready for your journey. You have 5 minutes before departure. Okay, cool. Right, so Glasgow, we're departing 7:35. And then if I scoot down, hang on, we've got a few go vias. Picking up passengers at Motherwell. Actually, let me move that. It's difficult to read, isn't it? We're going via Carstairs, via Lamington, via Bodsbury, via Wampfrey, via Kirtlebridge. Then we're stopping at Carlisle, and this is the bit that you all know quite a bit from this part onwards. So we're Carlisle, Penrith, Oxenholme, Lancaster, and finally Preston, platform 5B. We don't often go to platform 5. So there we go. We're all ready to go, and there's a few people on board ready for this trip. Scooby's got his ticket. I hope the rest of you have all got your ticket ready to go. Pete Mitchell. I knew you were going to say something about that. Dylan, good evening. How are you? You know what this scenario is, Lamore. Have you played this one? And David Drives is there, of course. Good evening. You've settled in with an iced coffee in the hope it might keep you awake. You've just had a big meal and feeling sleepy. Wow. See how you get on. If you fall asleep, there's always the replay. Jerry Mex, how are you? Alexander Houston, good evening. Who else have we got? Peter. Peter's on the wine. Give it some welly, lad, he says. He's got the wine open. I did see that earlier, actually, and I forgot you were there, hiding. So you get... Where's your shortbread? They might have some shortbread on board, you know. If we're setting off from Scotland, they might have a bit of shortbread down in the old buffet. Got a couple of minutes to wait, and then we're off. So yeah, just settling. No dramas, hopefully. No Oxenholmes. Just a nice run. Down to Preston. Lovely day. AP clouds are showing in the sky above Glasgow. The sun is shining on the coaches. Everybody's in a good mood. I'm in quite a good mood for a Monday, I have to say. I've been looking forward to this one. I haven't actually run this one. I have run from Glasgow down to Preston, but I've not run this scenario. Hopefully it works okay. The only thing I'm missing is a bit of traffic for Glasgow. I think the ScotRail 314 I'm missing, which I don't own, but I might pick up in the sale next time. Once it starts, it should start in August, based on previous years. You're going to use your cab pass, animals fur dodging. Good evening, Jason. How you doing? You could win the lottery if there's going to be an Oxenholme tonight. I don't think there'll be an Oxenholme. Not in the 90, although we'll see. We'll see. Sun in Glasgow. Ouch. Aye, says Andrew. It's always sunny in Glasgow, isn't it? Although a lot of these scenarios we get, including on TSW, it always seems to rain. If you have the dynamic weather on, you get rain for some reason. Rain and fog. Anyway, we're nearly ready to go. It's 35. The doors should close any time, I expect. We've got the green. So, shall we pop in? Got to remember I've got the DRA on as well. There we go. Motherwell is our next stop. And that is in... just give him a beat back. That's in 12.85. Oh, look at that. We got the red. What happened? Is that this guy coming in? Are we waiting for this guy? Oh, we got the green again. Right, that was odd. Anyway, here we go. Well, we have a chance. Let's put it in forwards. Yeah, all right. Take the brake off. Off we go. Right, we have a 15 coming out of here. As we know from playing TSW. You might see the 156 Shortbread Express. You're going to riot if there's no Oxenholme. I don't want there to be an Oxenholme. And it helps if I put the desktop audio back on. Hopefully you can hear the train a little bit now. Not just me. How's that sound? Oh, hang on. There we go. I was pointing at the wrong screen then. Hope your mother's well. Oh, God. Speaking of the mother, don't forget, once we get to Preston, give her a wave. She'll be waiting for us to go past, as usual. Right, we're cooking. I thought we were going to get a red, then I have to wait for this chap. But we're all good. Yeah, we have some traffic. I don't have the 314, but we got everything else, which is quite nice. I forgot, we're going to get an alarm, aren't we? There we go. Has that killed it? That's probably killed it. Alright, the brake's coming off. I forget, I haven't got the external alerts on. So, let's put it back in forwards. Alright, off we go. We'll resume. Yeah, that's the AP 156, yeah, it is. You've left an 86 sitting on the down at Oxenholme. We'll see if it's there when we go past. You usually leave Glasgow a lot faster than 15 miles per hour. Oh, that's harsh. That's harsh. Good evening, Pete. How are you? Yeah, broke it already. Yeah, it's because the alarm went off when I was outside, as usually happens. I don't want to necessarily have the external alarms popping up all the time, but I mean I can do. I think it's control. Yeah, there we go. I'll leave them on for a bit if it gets distracting, because I will want to spend some time out of the cab. Because it's only fair when we've got nice scenery like this coming out of Scotland and down to Carlisle. Victor, good evening. How are you? Now that doesn't count as a mess up. I was showing you the outside, so it doesn't really count. There's the horn again. Right, 12 to go to Motherwell. Yeah, 7:39 in the morning. So the good thing is we do the whole trip in daylight as well, which is always welcome. How do you turn on the external alarms? It is Control and number pad Enter if you've got a keyboard with a number pad on it. Do you think ATS will extend the Manchester route towards Crewe? Would love more of the Pendos. I don't know. They might. They might. Depends if they're working on something else as well, of course. I don't know, to be honest. It'd be welcome, wouldn't it, if they did. You know me, I quite like running the Pendo anywhere. So that would be quite good. Good morning, Glasgow, says Andrew. Yes, indeed. You can hear that famous creak and squeal of the Mark IIIs. Coming up to 75, so then I will go to set the speed set here once we get going. Hey Drummy, how are you? Here we go. So we'll put it at 75 right there, and we'll go for it, shall we? Good evening, Rob. How you doing? Probably going the wrong way. I've done that before, haven't I? What route was that on? That was on the that was the Northampton extension, wasn't it? For TSC West Coast Mainline South. That was confusing. That. We worked it out in the end, though. You miss the use of the E key. Hey, steady, boys. Come on. Thanks, everybody, for coming in on a Friday. It's even a Monday, isn't it? I wish it was a Friday. It'd be nearly time for my holidays. That's what's happening, you see. I'm getting a bit D-mob happy, and I've still got another week and a bit to go yet. I think we've got 52 in at the moment, so that's good. Let's slow down, shall we? We've got a 40 coming up. Yeah, Monday. Of course it's Monday. It's. I've only been at work today, and it already feels like it's been a long week. I'm ready for time off now. Mr. Water, how are you? Good evening. Here's the 40. There you are. Now it's moving us to the correct line. A 52 rail to a stream again. You're after the 52, are you? We'll do all of them at some point. Yeah, welcome to everybody. Hope everybody is doing good this week. Couple of videos on the feed. Hopefully you've already seen them. Network Southeast Class 86 was this morning. That was a good one. Enjoyed that. Ran a bit of steam yesterday on the Peak Forest because I'd not been on the Peak Forest for ages in TSW. And I was just looking around the available routes and I thought, I wonder if I can remember how to drive the 8F. So anyway, gave it a go. It worked out alright in the end. So yeah, Peter was suggested maybe a stream with the Scotsman as well. I think we can do that at some point, definitely, for one of the TSW's streams. Now, what's the control to move the speed set? It is dot and comma, isn't it? There we go. Put that up to 80. You've been back at work 2 weeks since your 2-week holiday in Yorkshire and you're ready for another. Yeah, I haven't been on holiday for ages. I always take first couple, generally it depends how it falls. First couple of weeks in August I always take. But I have a massive gap between like February. I usually take some time off in February, and then apart from bank holidays, I'm working all the way through to August, and sometimes it's just too long of a stretch, you know, and you're ready for your holidays. And I'm ready. So we'll see how it goes. Right, we've got 6, just over 6.5 to Motherwell. Next is Newton. If the stream gets 100 likes, I'll Oxenholme somewhere. I might Oxenholme at Oxenholme yet. Don't say anything yet. You know what can happen. We haven't got neutral sections to deal with this train, so we could be alright. Also, occasionally, just remind me to do that and do an F2 as we go. Just in case we do Oxenholme anywhere, then we don't have to give up the whole thing, because that'd be a shame. Right, we've got 5 to go. Let's just put that up to 90. Lee, good evening, how are you? You got storms in Essex? Yeah, I believe storms are meant to come up pretty much everywhere, but it's quite a nice night up here for once. Joseph, how are you? Yeah, we got a bit of AP going on, definitely. Which loco is this? 90020. The Jerk, how are you? Just been told by the signallers at Carlisle you've got to get diverted onto the Cumbrian coast. I hope so. We might not get very far with the lack of power, but I would definitely take a run down the Cumbrian coast. I'll have to get somebody to drag us, but yeah, I could deal with that type of diversion. You ready for another holiday and you're only back today? That's worse than Peter. Right, just over 3 to go. You take it Thursday and Tuesday either side of the bank holiday. Birthday treat on the Tuesday. TFL 67, Mark 4s and DVT. Quimbrand to crew return. Oh, nice. First class with chef cook dining. Wow. You're spending a few quid on that then. Or somebody is. Birthday treat. Yeah, don't blame you. I've always fancied going on the Pullman, to be honest. I keep seeing it in Preston all the time. And I had a look at the prices. It's not cheap, but I'd probably enjoy it though. Right, let's get the power off, shall we? You had a storm in Kent not long ago, yeah. I can imagine. It's creeping this way. Am I going to the greatest gathering? No, I'm not. I'm not. Chucked it down in Ipswich. I drove out of Ipswich just a little bit earlier on the Train Sim Classic. I was just messed about with a Class 321 and I realised I got it in the last AP sale, but I've not really driven it. So I just did a quick... oh my god, look at this. Watch out for these buses. That's not good. That's not good. Shut the gates. Oh, the gates are shut. They're still coming through. Yeah, that wasn't good. Yeah, the 321. I just did a quick drive between Ipswich and Colchester, just to give it a bit of a test out. It wasn't raining in my version of Ipswich. I did get through the tunnel though that the animal doesn't like when he's in the flirt. I managed to get through the tunnel, so I was alright from that perspective. Right, this is Motherwell, as if you couldn't tell by the massive sign there on the platform that tells you so. Just creep down the platform. See if we've got any takers for the trip down. Right, here we go. Welcome to Motherwell. Everybody on board? That one had a nameplate on. I didn't see what that was. Game's looking very sharp. Yeah, I've got it on. I'm actually playing it in 4K. But obviously, it won't come through to you on YouTube as 4K, but it should hopefully come across sharp. Okay, driver. Now it's 1 hour and 10 minutes of high speed to Carlisle. High speed means high braking when we get to Carlisle. But let's see. I was meant to signal to the guard as well, but anyway, let's go, shall we? We're going via Carlisle, so we've got a couple of go vias. We are going all the way to Carlisle. Big gap, yeah, it is a big gap. You remember the last time you saw me do this run? I actually just went from Carlisle to Glasgow, part of the ambassador trip that we did, and I was, if you remember, I was in the sleeper, I was running the sleeper train, which I quite enjoyed, but that only went from Carlisle to Glasgow, the other way. But we can get straight up to 95. So let's get the speed set right up there, ready to go. 60 miles, is that what it is? Why do the assets look different to yours? They shouldn't, apart from the sky is the AP sky pack. The signals are AP signals, and the track is the AP track pack. But apart from that, it should be the same. You're going to see if your flirt is still there where you left it, in gear, ready to go, ready for someone to rescue it. Oh dear. Right, need to adjust it to 90. There we go. Punch it, Chewy, says Bones. Good evening, Pete, by the way. Pete888, how are you? Sorry if I miss anybody in chat when it moves fairly quick and I'm trying to drive. I sometimes miss a few, so apologies if I do miss any. Not intentional. Any 320s on this route? I don't know if there's any in this scenario. This route, by the way, if you've got the West Coast Main Line North and West Coast Main Line over Shap in Tier C, I think you can download this free without having a membership at Alan Thompson Sim. It's called the Northwest and Scotland is the actual route. I think the requirements are you need those two routes, and there's a scenery extension. I think it's Glasgow scenery extension, which you can get from the Steam Workshop, so you don't need to pay for that. Go and have a look. I can't remember. I've had this installed for quite some time now, so I might be a bit fuzzy on the requirements, but just go and check it. Right, that was the AWS telling me to slow down. So we'll set it there, 70. Actually, I'm not going to do that because I'm not meant to slow down with the speed set, am I? Meant to slow down in the traditional manner. We've got a 60 coming up. Read the chat too much and you Oxenholme. That's exactly right. No doubt when we get near Oxenholme there'll be an influx of chat messages like there was last week. Oh god. You try and catch me out every week. Okay. Let's increase a little bit. Good for 70. Was a bit of a tight curve, that, wasn't it? Kind of swung me around a little bit. Right, so now I can use the speed set and move it to 80. Just don't brake with the speed set, which I don't usually do. So we're due in 807. Well, that's our ETA, not when we're due in. Or is that the pass? No, that's the pass at Carstairs. 807. Let's have a look. What time are we due at Carlisle? Does it actually say? Due in at 9:04. Depart 9:07. So yeah, we got a good hour. Till we get there. Edinburgh, Glasgow, is it? Is that what it is? Right. Yeah, get it. Go to Alan Thompson Sim Animal. I just click on the routes tab, I think, and you should see it. Just increase that to 95. Here we go. Let's have a quick look outside, shall we? Great. I love a high-speed run. Whoever runs scenarios made by the community, this is a community one. Your mum said hi to everyone, Andrew. Hello, Andrew's mum. Shortbread. I can't believe we're talking about biscuits already. I know it's in your username, but still a type of biscuit. You like the fast high-speed runs, not the slow ones. 95's not bad. We've got 100 coming up, if you can contain yourself, look. And I was waiting for you to say, is shortbread a bread? How did I know that you would say that? Yeah, I love shortbread, yeah. The buttery, the better. I could just eat some of that now, actually. Right, we got the 100, so knock up the speed set. There we go. Right, shall I try and go for the flyby? Watch there be a DSD now. Yep, told you. Deb, how are you? No, in the shortbread animal, not on the shortbread. I wouldn't butter the shortbread. There should be enough butter in the shortbread. And being as we're in Scotland, I'll have one of those deep fried Scotch pies as well. I quite like them, the old meat pies where you deep fry them. They're quite nice. Whenever I've been in Scotland, I've had one or two of those. Quite enjoy them. They've probably got a proper name. We just call them Scotch pies, but you know the ones I mean. They're like mincemeat pies, but they're deep fried. Very good. Right, 95, 90, so let's do that. You just said your tea, but now you're hungry again. Doesn't it always work like that? How are you, Seb? Good evening. Oh, a little pause there. Probably loading in the scenery. But this is Carstairs coming up. We get to go to 125 now. So here's the speed that you wanted. I think at Carstairs we held over last time when we ran the sleeper. I think the train split, didn't it? One half went to Edinburgh, and the other half that we had went to Glasgow. And just down there on that left-hand side, there was another Class 90 waiting for the Edinburgh portion, which was quite good. I think that's one of the AP scenarios, that. I think. It was a good one, though. Right, let's punch it. Is 110 the... Dave will tell me, is 110 the maximum speed of this? I don't think I remembered that. It is on the speed set. A lot of Irish butter goes in the mixture, yeah, definitely. Tea and milk, which one first? Tea first, milk afterwards. Yeah, definitely tea first. You need to see how strong it is before you put your milk in. The only reason milk used to go in first is because they used to use bone china cups and saucers. So you would put the milk in first, so that when the hot tea went in, it didn't shatter the cup. That's a true story, that. And that's why milk goes in first in some places. Because you know what bone china's like, it's really, really thin. But I prefer tea first, and then just a drip of milk in the top. Some great scenery on this bit, look. Let's have it. $110 is... Oh, yeah, of course 110 is the max on this route, but yeah, 110 on the actual 90 as well. Lamington is our next go via, by the way. I just love the colours in TS Classic. The scenery looks great. Especially in 4K, it does. Not had a cup of tea in years. Oh, wow. I mean, I do like a coffee, but I only have an odd one. I much prefer tea. Drink tea all day. Tea first, milk after, pour down sink and make a coffee. Oh dear. Far too harsh on tea. Tea then milk, there you go, yeah. He's got it right. More muted than CSW, yeah it is, yeah. There's... This game will go on a long time, I think. I don't know what DTG will do with it, if anything. There was meant to be a bit of a yearly update. Not an update. They weren't updating anything, were they? But there was a bundle of routes coming out. That I don't know what's happened to that. There was meant to be a live stream or a pre-recorded stream a few weeks ago, but I don't know what's happened to it. But I don't know if DTG will do anything with this. Evening, Elliot. How you doing? As the guard been free for ticket inspections? If they do, they're going to catch Animal. He's third dodging. Scooby paid his super chat ticket money, so he's all right. Dave's on his PT pass. But yeah, this is a fast part of the route, so it's looking good. Bit of cab sway going on there as well. I knew you'd all enjoy this one. You're just chilling out. Animal's not paid his due again. Yeah, that sounds like Animal, doesn't it? David, you don't drink tea either. You used to when you were in England, but you only drink coffee now. That's because in Switzerland you might not get proper tea. It's like when the few times I've been in America and I've tried to get a cup of tea, it's that Lipton stuff and it just doesn't taste right. I get it. If you're not a nation of tea drinkers, then it probably tastes good, but the Americans are not bad at coffee, are they? So we'll probably get lots of improper use of the horn penalties by the time we get to Preston, but who cares? There's your DVT. I already popped the taillights on before we set off, just to save a little bit of time. Herbal tea, yeah. DX12 beta. I haven't tried that. I don't know if Rob's still in the chat. Rob Jansen might have tried that. Not sure. Right, let's get ready for 90. God, look at that cab sway there. That'd make you put your seatbelt on. Oh, I don't mind Earl Grey. Earl Grey's all right, but I can't put milk in it. I've got to have it. I've got to have it neat. Oh, you can get PG tips. All right. Yeah, that's all right. TSC cab rides, good evening, how are you? Much as you love this route, probably your favourites during upgrades, even just the track. It's a shame Keith can't release his version. It's a very old route, isn't it, West Coast Mainline North? But it still looks pretty good, does it? Oh, you know, albeit I've got a couple of the AP extras running on it, but it still looks pretty nice. I know what you're saying though. If it was redone, it would look great. This and Over Shap were the first two that I got, I think, in TSC, because I came into TSC quite late, as everybody knows. I've only been playing it a couple of years, so most stuff was already out by the time I came into it. But those were the first two that I got. Ratty, good evening. Ratty, thank you for remembering as well. Not remembering, but, you know, remembering. I noticed you'd rejoined up again the other day. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. Right, we can accelerate once again. Kebabs usually means that Ratty is in. Yeah, kebabs are chippy for Ratty normally, I think. I don't think he's on the salad, unless it's on his kebab. Looking forward to an English breakfast in a few weeks. Oh, you coming over, are you, Rob? For some reason? You got to go for the full English. None of this sliced cold meat continental malarkey stuff. We're going via Bodsbury LC up Main in 3.5 miles. Hey Duncan, how are you? You've been watching for a minute and noticed the alarm notification. We can do that in TSW. Some trains in third person can be louder. Oh, you mean the visual alerts? Yeah. There it goes again, look. Yeah. I mean, it's handy in this because you can't hear the alarms outside. So if you are outside for any reason, you're stuffed. So yeah, it's quite handy. Well, there's some curve on this. I'm not thinking it seems a bit fast. Look at this here, this valley. Looks great, doesn't it? Look at that. Who said Scotland has bad weather? It doesn't in this game. $10-piece breakfast a couple of hours ago, wow. You had a McDonald's breakfast. Yeah, that's not like a full English though, is it? Weatherspoon's full English, yeah. Yeah, cheap and cheerful. You're going on holiday in the UK, something different. Yeah, I bet you didn't go to the UK last year, did you? A greasy spoon. Yeah, full English, go where the lorry drivers go, exactly right. Let's try and obey the speed as best we can, shall we? We've got this slightly tight curve coming up for the 90. There we go. We don't want to derail the thing. Now we're going via Wamfrey up Main in 15 miles. So we're moving quite well. We're getting there. We're not doing so bad. I think it said about 9 o'clock. Just after 9 o'clock, we are due in Carlisle. So yeah, still got a little bit to go. Without black pudding, yeah, I'm not a fan of black pudding. All that dried up blood, yeah, I don't fancy it. Ivory breakfast. Oh, it's just. I think we should abandon trains and do a cooking stream or something, or takeaways of the world stream. We spend more time talking about food on this than we do. You do the trains, you know, if you look back. A Greg's breakfast baguette. I don't know if I've had one of them. What's on that? Is it like bacon and tomato, like the ones you used to get on the railway at Preston? I used to get one of them when I was travelling to Preston to Manchester when I worked at Rail House at Piccadilly. I used to get one in the morning. It was like a meal deal thing with a cup of tea. And they'd put the baguette, it was just bacon and tomato, they put the baguette in the microwave. It came out, it took you nearly the full hour of getting to Manchester before you could actually get your teeth into it, because the tomato was like nuclear type heat. It was like, you know, a bit like the old McDonald's apple pie that was. It nearly took the skin off your lips. They were tasty though, especially at like 7 o'clock in the morning. Would I like to move to Scotland? I don't know really, I've never thought about it. I'd like to live out somewhere in the sticks. I don't know if I'd like to live in a city. But every time I've been up to the Highlands, around Loch Ness, when I've been to Loch Ness a few times, I've always liked it up there, you know, and on the drive on the way up there. I always think I could settle up there, perhaps, yeah. Breakfast is the best meal of the day. Shame you're never up in time. Steve, good evening, how are you? You love black pudding. Is black pudding a Scottish thing or not? I don't know where it originates. I've just never fancied it. I've never fancied haggis either when I think about what's in it. It probably tastes really nice, but I've just not... I don't know. And I'm not being a snob, I just don't... Do you know what I mean? No. Lots of people tell me haggis is pretty good, but... Right, we're up to the 125, which means we can get up to our 110. So that's what we'll do. The greatest part of a fry-up is black pudding. Ratty's got bagels. Can you see? Look, how many food-related topics there is. Lancashire is the land of black pudding, is it? My dad would always eat black pudding, but I don't know, I don't fancy it. I mean, yeah, it makes you a big boy. Yeah, I mean it's full of iron, isn't it? So it's going to pump the chest up a bit. The speed limit here is 100. It's saying 125 here. Your aunt lives near Dunoon, basically at the foot of the Highlands. Plan on driving up to Glencoe when I go up, very dependent on the weather. Yeah, so that's the way, when I've been up there, that's the way I go, past Glencoe and Fort William. I actually drive past, you drive past Fort William railway station as well, like literally right outside it. Which is always weird when you've, you know, like when you've been from Fort William in Train Sim Classic so many times, playing the Highland route, so you drive right past it. It's odd seeing somewhere that you've only seen in a game. Look for standard speed bars. I did see 100 one go past then, yeah. It's fine. But as we can only do 110 max. Steve, you really enjoyed the recent Peak Forest route video. It's a nice route. Any layers are available to play diesel shares? I don't think there's any layers, but if you look back on the channel, I've played diesel on it a few times. You go on Creators Club. There's a lot of user created scenarios that are diesel, especially the DMUs in green as well. So you can run those. But yeah, I think a few people quite like that Peak Forest. But I was kind of thinking to myself that when I was looking down at a lot of the videos that are done for TSW, and you know, me included, there's not a lot of Steam videos. And you know, me personally, I haven't intentionally avoided Steam. I just haven't done any. So I thought to myself, I was looking through the route list and I thought, Peak Forest is there. I nearly did Spirit of Steam, but I saw Peak Forest and thought, I haven't been on it for ages. So that's why I decided to do it. But a lot of people have commented yesterday and said that they quite enjoyed that video. So we'll do some more, I think. I don't mind doing Steam. Honestly, I don't. If they brought out more Steam routes, I'd quite enjoy it personally. There's a lot of people that wouldn't for some reason. I don't really know why. A lot of people say they haven't done Steam properly, but I'm not in real life, as I was saying in that video, I'm not a massive Steam person. So to me, to my untrained eye, the Steam in the game in TSW seems to work all right. So, you know, I'm not as critical as some other people. I've quite enjoyed it, and it actually, as I said yesterday as well, it actually got me into steam trains a little bit more because I wasn't really that bothered about them before. So, you know, that's a good thing, isn't it? So, you know, I'm with you on that. Why's that guy got his tail lights on? Which way is he going? That was weird. Carter, how are you? You can't wait to see TSW6 to see King's Cross? Where have you got that from? York to King's Cross. Yeah, I think you're right, Jason. I think I prefer diesels, but you know what I'm saying is, if steam's there, I quite happily drive the steam. Definitely. And if I know people like watching the steam, we'll do a bit of the steam stuff. I don't mind, because we've got Spirit of Steam, we've got Peak Forest, we've got the Scotsman, which you can pretty much run anywhere, including Edinburgh, Glasgow. There's a few services on there, and a few rail tours. It appears in lots of places, so we could do that. Where's the 104 for Peak Forest? Yeah, I don't know. Someone else asked me that yesterday. That was on the road map, and then I think it's completely disappeared, hasn't it? I think it's completely disappeared from the road map. Peak Forest is great for adding player services because of the sparse timetable. Low risk of messing up the main timetable with your own services, yeah. Yeah, have a look on Creators Club. Never get used to the dense Scottish midges this far up in the Highlands if you were to hop them off. I'll tell you a story about that, you're right, you're exactly right. So on one of the said trips that I did have to Loch Ness, the first time we went, we stayed in some cabins in Invermoriston. Like, literally, like the lock was below the balcony. They're like right on the side of the lock. I'm not kidding. It was August, and sat out having a beer on the balcony. Oh my god, they're just like, it's as if they hatched from somewhere out of the lock. They were everywhere. There was thousands of them. Couldn't sit outside. So when I got there, I noticed on the table the owners had left these big candles, and then I realised they were those sort of anti-midge candles that you can get that let off whatever it is. It's not paraffin, is it? It's something that disperses the midges at night. But yeah, it spoilt it a little bit. There was thousands of them. But no, it's a nice place. It's a strange place, that lock. The way the weather changes, you see the weather coming in from one side as well, which is really odd. Because I mean, it's so big, isn't it? Was it 26 miles long? It's a fascinating place, you know, even without a monster. Yeah, I've not been for a couple of years. I need to get back. Yeah, Kevin, Peak Forest is a nice route. Yeah, definitely. But I preferred electric. Me, you mean? I like diesels, but I do quite like electric. I like electric, like, you know, the 86, 87, and this one, you know, classic electric. But yeah, diesels. You can't go wrong with a diesel. And I won't mention the diesel that Animal always talks about, because nobody's mentioned it yet, and we're 1 hour 8 into the stream. We've done alright so far. I pretty much play anything. Right, let me just save it. Not one of you reminded me. Have you missed anything? Spads, etc.? No. You had to put some curtains back up. Where's that? Is that Lockerbie? Or not? Are we not that near yet? Oh, it is Lockerbie. There you go. I'm starting to learn. Yeah, there's a speedboard with the 100. Yeah, I've just mentioned it. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Right, so you reckon I should be doing 100 then? Even though it's letting me, even though it's saying in the hood 125, because I'm not a tilting train, I've got to follow the lower speed. I mean, I could do maximum of 100, I don't care. Did I ever try the Woodhead electric route in blue just before the conversion? I've got both Woodhead routes, yeah. I'll just leave it at 100. I'll leave it at 100 then. I don't mind. Can you imagine, Animal, if TSW6 comes out and there's a Class 50 involved? You would suddenly take back everything you ever said about TSW. I just know it. And if there's any double header scenarios, well, that's it. We won't see you for about 6 months. £110 mph, same as the 87, which is non-tilting. So we're having a conflict here then. So what should I be doing? What do you reckon? Should I be able to take it up to the 110? What does everyone think? You used to drive one of these, Dave. You could tell us. KH, now then. How's it going, lad? Yeah. Are you heading to where you live, or near to it? Remind me again. I knew you're in Scotland somewhere. Whereabouts are you in Scotland? We're heading out of Scotland at the minute. We're heading towards Carlisle right now. We're due just under half an hour, I think. Yeah, get that like button pushed. Thank you, everybody. Much appreciated if you do. Trying to build us up a bit. The more people we can get in on these Monday streams, the better, I think. I've been trying to stick to at least the Monday one, and if we do a couple of bonus ones, then that's exactly what they are. But, you know, Monday night, we'll try and do train night on a Monday night. Then everybody knows regularly what to do. 110. Right, so shall we go for it? 110, why not? I'll go with whatever you guys say. I want to, you know, my past record doesn't sort of reflect it, but I want to stay as safe as possible, you know, if I can. If the Wcml South is in TSW6, you'll be missing in action until TSW7. Is that what some of you think is coming? The East Coast Main Line South? And if you do, what's the basis for that? Just out of interest. Did I try suburban Glasgow? I have got suburban Glasgow. But I've only recently got it in a sale. You live near Motherwell? Yeah, we stopped at Motherwell on the way out of Glasgow. Yeah, you just missed it. It was just a little bit behind us. Carlisle in 16 miles. Now we're cooking. You're betting a Vital Organ, the Class 70. You're convinced about the 73, aren't you? Pete, your prediction after Matt said expect the unexpected is for the BML remaster. Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Yeah. And while we're at it, we'll have Northern Transpennine remaster, I think. Oh wow, this is a neat little S-bend. Oh, there we go, 110. It was 110 there. You would love the Voyager as the deluxe train. It'd layer on nearly every modern UK route. Yeah, yeah. Well, there's not long to find out, really, is there? What is it today? 21st. So it's just a little over a month until Dovetail Direct, and that's when they'll spill the beans. You asked a certain streamer again how his audio recording went. He sniggered and said he couldn't possibly comment, then changed the subject. Who is this streamer, by the way? Do we know him? And where is there a 73? Where's he been to record the 73? Good evening, Sim by the Mile. How are you doing? Makes sense to jump to the East Coast and make some use of the Azuma. There is that, yeah, there is that. Because we've only got that. We've only got the Azuma there. There's a little bit of Azuma in Scotland, isn't there? On the it's on the Sprinter timetable, isn't it? Because I've run that on the channel. Actually, I haven't been back and run the Azuma up there again, which I should do. Matt said great things are coming. Yeah, Great Anglia. Don't say Great Anglia. GE Dave will be needing to lie down. Great Western. Yeah, Great Northern. Do I own the 318 EMU pack? I don't think so. I don't think I do. I think it's on the wish list, but I don't think I've got it. Dad rail drives them. Okay. Oh, is he the streamer you're talking about? He's an ambassador as well. He wouldn't tell you. He wouldn't tell you if he knew what was coming. Yeah, I think a lot of us agree on the Great Eastern Main Line, as we've said a few times on this particular programme. Or Wherry lines, Sim by the Mile says Wherry lines, yeah. Take the Wherry lines. When we were talking about distance and Great Eastern Main Line the other week, I think, you know, from a distance perspective, Wherry lines is probably more doable, isn't it? And it's one of those routes, Wherry lines, where if you look at the TSC version, it goes off different places, which they quite like, don't they? If you think about Manchester Airport Commuter, Cathcart Circle, just to name a couple, Cardiff Network, you like those types of routes that go several different directions and end up in the same place. Wherry lines is a good candidate for that, isn't it? So you never know. And like I said, everything around that sort of neck of the woods. You know, Matt Peddleston is from round there. Jamie is from round that neck of the woods as well. So you just never know. And just like that, we're 3 miles outside of Carlisle. So Kingmore will be coming up on the right hand side. And this is where you'll start to recognise it if you've only played TSW. Then you've got the Preston Carlisle. Wcml goes off to different places. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to try to capture the whole Great Eastern Main Line with all the places it goes off to, it'll be quite a big route, wouldn't it? Whereas Wherry lines, you might get away with replicating the same Wherry lines, you know, the same route as you've got in TS Classic. And then we might get 37s. We might get different 37s. Depends what era they do. Alright, let's start the slowdown for Carlisle, why don't we? Got 60 coming up. There it is. Yeah, wherry lines at slow speed. They are quite slow speed. Good route though, especially with the AP. You know, the AP improvements as well on the wherry lines. I don't play it enough. I need to. We need to play it on here as well. Actually, we should play the wherry lines definitely. We should do that. I'll write it on my list. So I've got a lot of. I think I've got all the stock goes on the wherry lines. I think. Apart from the flirts, I haven't got the flirts. And I did travel on a flirt when I was down there last year. Actually, it was last year when I went from Beccles to Lowestoft and then Lowestoft to Norwich. I was on a flirt. I didn't know what a flirt was until then, and then Animals made it famous since then. We got stuck at that swing bridge. We had to wait for ages because there was something up with it and he got stuck. Niddertalborn is good to play, enjoying it as we speak. Yeah, Niddertalborn is great, yeah. It is. I don't think I have that on the PC. I've got it on the PS5, not the PC. Here's Carlisle, a site you probably know quite well. This is where in TSW we've started a lot of runs from exactly this platform. Platform 4. Let's stop it right there. Probably not going to be able to see the signal. It's fine. There's the doors. Swing that around a bit. Can't help feeling those signs are a bit low down. Like they've sunk into the platform a little bit. I think they should be higher than that, shouldn't they? So, how long have we got to wait? Have we really got to wait that long? Let's have a look. What time we due out? Due out at 9:07. Talk amongst yourselves for a bit. Oh dear. And I can't skip time. So there you go. I'm gonna take it. Oh, I'm already out. I must have had an emergency alarm look, because it's taken me into neutral. Into off, sorry. Let me have a look at the chat then, I guess. I'll set that off. See what everyone's saying. Scooby says hopefully someone makes a Merseyrail route for TSW soon. Yeah. Dadrail said 73 recording trip wasn't for TSW, it was for something else. If it was for TSW, he wouldn't tell you. Honestly, he wouldn't tell you. Do you think there's a lack of connection between I think there's a connection between a lack of news on the Great Western Express remaster and DTG getting the GWR license back? Possibly electrification and the 800 with an extension, maybe Swindon. I don't know. I still think on the 26th, that's when you'll find out anything you're thinking of currently will all come to pass. on that date. I'll put that in neutral so it doesn't beep at me, hopefully. There we go. Let's pop outside. What else are you saying? The Wherry Lines remaster from ATS is good. Oh yeah, they have done something. I haven't got that actually. I haven't got that. I need to look into it. I did see that there was one. You don't think the Great Eastern will be the core route for TSW6? You reckon it'll be the South Devon main line, Exeter to Plymouth, with the Paynton and Exmouth branches? It would be a good choice. Would be a good choice. If not the Wherry, the Riviera line. I've been riding it in real life. The coastal running under the rocks is one of the most beautiful bits of rail in the country. And cross city run down to Paynton. Yeah. Yeah, Riviera. We've said that a few times on this stream over the weeks and months. Yeah, since they have the cross city license back for a Voyager add-on. Where have I driven on suburban Glasgow? I can't remember. I think I've only played it once. I literally got it a few weeks ago in the sale. Stuff the flirts. Did you see the dragon on the chimney? What do you mean? Is that a question for me, Dave? Or is that for somebody else? You used to live overlooking Finsbury Park. TSW also already have the stock for the Great Northern 43s, 800s, 700s, 387s, 313s, and add the 717 or 91s as DLC. So you got lots of good ideas. Lots of good ideas. A sign for midget reading. It is a bit low down, isn't it? What on earth is this? Someone get a doctor for Tintin is not normal. Is it because I'm early, you mean? It must have just been the timings of the scenario, because we didn't do anything different, did we? We were early. As I said, I've not run this before, so timings-wise, I didn't know how we would do. Evening, Simon. How you doing? If you want to send a nice scenario, you can do that. Ping it in the Discord, Limo, yeah. You off to bed, Animal? Yeah. Okay. Thanks for coming in. Question was for me. I went north from Beccles. It's south of there. Yeah, I went from Beccles. Yeah, no, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. It was a nice little run, though. I mean, I could have driven to Norwich from Beccles. It's not that far, is it, really? But I fancied going by train, just so I could go into Lowestoft and then come back out again. And it's weird because it was the same train. It went into Lowestoft and it just waited there for ages. We even got off and had a wander around and then jumped back on, and then it went on to Norwich. Chris, good evening. How are you? This is a Sunday service. Oh, is it Sunday? Oh, it could be. Yeah, could be a Sunday service. Everyone's got plenty of time to hop on. We've still got a few minutes. There's the DVT. There's not a lot of traffic in at Carlisle, I'll say. See, we've already got the green light, which is a bit daft, isn't it? I don't think that would happen, would it? if we're waiting this long. Good evening, Si. How are you? Have we not got the Queen on tonight? No, she went off to see Superman or something, she was saying early on. I presume she means a film, not the real Superman. She's been knocking about somewhere, though. Dragon House, Belgrove. Right, I'll look that up. Duncan says, whatever the new route, it's going to be a new license. Always reserve the main route for a brand to debut, at least so far. Not like the US or Germany with one or two companies. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I always get quite excited when the new TSW comes out, you know, for that reason. Normally we get something a little bit different. I was quite excited about playing West Coast Mainline South last time. When I went down to Dovetail last time, and we were allowed to get hands on the routes a little bit earlier than everybody else. I just went straight to the West Coast Mainline South, and out of all three, I pretty much camped on the PS5 just playing that, you know, over the 2 days. I was quite excited about that. So it's always good. I mean, even I don't know what routes are coming up. I can't tell you. Well, I wouldn't tell you anyway, obviously, but I don't know. I've not been officially told anything, so I don't know what the routes are. So, yeah, we just have to wait that little bit longer, really. It can't be right. You must always be 15 minutes late. No, we're all right. It's given us a bit of time to fail at Oxenholme, isn't it, and catch back up. Hopefully there's a good buffer of time once we get down there. It's 9 o'clock anyway, so what did we say? 9:07. So it's not too bad. What I will do is just save it. Thunderer, good evening. How are you? Hello. What's happening off south now? Yeah, we've come down from Glasgow, just at Carlisle, and then we're heading south a bit further. I can't even see 714 over there, Dave, either. There's nothing over there, actually. It could be at Cornfirth along with your 86. We'll have to have a look. He once lived in a house 30 yards away from the incline coming out of Lincoln towards Immingham. 56s, 58s, 60s all night. Full throttle. Brakes squealing down. You see move, yeah, but that was noisy. Well, you know, I always tell you where my mum lives, you know, next to the West Coast Main Line as we're just coming into Preston, or coming out, whichever direction you're going in. As a kid, it's funny, it's about, you were to draw a straight line from the house to the West Coast Main Line, it's probably, I don't know, 800 yards, let's say 800 yards from the main line. So it's pretty close. So you've got coming from the north, you've got people slowing down and screeching because it's kind of I think it's exactly 2 miles from Preston Station. Coming out the other way, people are, you know, starting to get the foot down because you just got into that 80 zone past St Walburg's. So it could be a bit noisy. But it's funny how your ears get accustomed to it, you know, after so long. I mean, there's people live backing right onto it. I mean, it's going to be noisy for them. But the noisiest time was during weekend working, where they were, you know, replacing the ballast and lifting the track and all that. That was noisy. That used to be noisy. Yeah. So I've got a little bit of sympathy there, Peter, with that story, to be honest. KH, you're off to watch your American Freight DVDs. Nice. Beef dripping toast. Oh dear me. That won't do you much good. You've joined the TSW repeat, but with a 90. Yeah, you've you've missed the unusual bit. This is the bit that we're used to now. Distractions at the ready. Yeah, wish you put a skip time feature in TSW. Yeah, yeah. You can get the if you're on PC, you can get the God mode, which I think, Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, that lets you skip some time, but I know what you mean. Generally, you can't skip time without that. I think this timing is very generous. This one. Let's have a quick look at what it says. Got 9:07. Penrith hasn't got a timing. Oxenholme, Lancaster, Preston, they've not got timings. So I'm going to assume we go straight in, we pick up, and we carry on at those stations. You'll rewatch again later. Yeah, the first half was pretty good actually. Quite enjoyed that rundown. It's really nice. I mean, this part of the route, obviously, we know around the Loon Gorge, etc., has got quite nice scenery. West Coast Main Line North has got some really nice scenery. If they ever had that in TSW, they'll make a good job of that. You know, it could be worth having. I hope someone like Just Trains end up making that, and then they've managed to work out how to join the routes together. That'll be quite nice. Oh, the house would shake. Second terrace house away from the line there. That's pretty close. God mode lets you do 4 times speed of time. Yeah, I thought it did. I haven't got that in TSW on the PC. I've just got those couple of timetable mods. That's all I've got. You've seen no AI while you sat here at Carlisle. Here comes one. The 47. Oh, he's towing a 90, look. Good old 47 to the rescue. BBC Children in Need, that was. Like the 90 is in need. You lived a mile from your station, so when night fell, you could hear the 50s, or not 50s, or animals gone. It's all right. And on Sundays, with the wind blowing your way so much, you could hear the crew shouting. You can, yeah. And when I was saying about the track work, that I could hear, because my bedroom was at the back, you know, facing that side of the house was facing the West Coast Main Line, so I could hear them shouting. You're right, yeah. Yeah, it carries, doesn't it, depending which way the wind's blowing. Right, we're nearly ready to go. I better check that I've still got the green signal, you know. And we have. Right, so it's 7, so come on. Hopefully, we can be aware. Right, let's just... Now, he just... I was going to say, the guard actually buzzed me. But we weren't ready. There he goes again, that's 3 times. You made it, well done, driver. We got a few stations. Oh, Penrith, 9:19. Oxenholme, 9:48. Lancaster, 10:03. Preston, 10:21. So has it put those timings in the... No, it's not put them in the schedule. Bit strange, isn't it? So there are timings, but not in the schedule. Let me check. One more time, we got the signal. We have. So we're all good to go. Let's do it. Anyway, the win, bros. Doesn't really matter to me. Yeah, absolutely. Off we go. Penrith. Just under 18 miles. Pete says, from your flat across the field is the Watford Tunnel entrance on the West Coast Main Line South. All right, yeah, yeah. We all know it well now. I've got an alarm again, haven't I? Look. Ah, dear. That's because I was reading the chat again. Let's wait for the brakes. Right, we'll try that again. Stand by for trains braking at Penrith. They've already broken before we've even got out the platform at Carlisle. Any 66s? I haven't seen any yet. There's not a lot of AI on this. There's fellow 90s going past. There it is again. It's really keen, that DST. Doesn't look too much different to the TSW version, does it? There's our Cumbrian Coast route there, if only. I mean, I've got the Cumbrian Coast in TS Classic, but you can't come this far up. You can only go as far as Millom, just past Barrow. Be nice to have the whole route in one of the two games. Be good. Right, off we go. Can't Oxenholme if you never get there. That's true. That is very true. Should we book in for breakfast? No 714. No, not so far. In fact, he won't appear in this. You're safe. Right, so Penrith, Oxenholme, Lancaster, Preston. You know the script by now. I'll set that to 95 already because I think we won't reach 90 before then. How you doing, Maverick? Nice to see you. Yeah, AP, yeah. See, this version of Preston Carlisle is quite nice looking, isn't it? No complaints there. You love AP products, yeah? They do transform it, don't they? They're not cheap, but they definitely transform it. They definitely improve it over the standard. What time did it say we were at Preston? 10:03. I think it was 10:03. Yeah, thanks once again everybody for coming in. Always appreciated. Been a few videos out in the last couple of weeks, but as I said, once I get on my jollies, obviously that'll be a bit less. So I've got this week, I've got next week, and there might be a slight lull. And then we'll get prepared for the big one, which is Dovetail Direct. So I'm sure there'll be something on the feed about that as soon as we know the details. Yep, fair enough, Lamore, yeah. You watched the 86401 video in the Network Southeast. That was the only one. Yeah, Dave was saying it was the only one as well, yeah. But the 87 in the 2010s when it was the Jubilee. Yeah, it's a great livery that, isn't it? I recorded that video last night and I picked up the livery about an hour or so before on Sunday night, and I thought, yeah, we'll have to take a look at this. That's what I've been quite liking about the, you know, since the 87 has been around and since the 86 has been around in TSW. I quite like looking for the liveries and just looking into some of the backstories and whatnot. That's why I did the Preston Guild one last week as well. Obviously, that's a bit of a local one to me, really. So that one was a special one, but. Yeah, I quite looking into the history. I mean, if you've got the AP on this, you've got the AP 87 and 86. Obviously, that comes with a lot of liveries in the pack as well. And then there's reskins and whatnot. But I always love looking through. It's like with the 86 in this, you know, I like driving the Les Ross. We've done that a few times, and again, I think I did that as part of the ambassador trip that we did a few months ago. Where did I run that one from? Was that from Stafford to Preston? I think I did. I used the Les Ross 86. See, that's something you're not going to really get with all these new units. You know, a lot of that history, there won't be that history, will there? Which is a shame. 87012 is for the Olympic bid. Yeah. I'm going to save it as we go once again. We have got 5.5 miles into Penrith, and then we've got your favourite place after that. Have you tidied your bedroom yet? It's true that. It is true. Everybody says it around here. Once every Preston Guild. That's what they always say. There was one in 1972, which I don't remember. Mainly because I wasn't around. 1992, I remember. The Preston Guild 1992, I remember quite vividly. But then obviously the most recent ones, like very recent. Yeah, it was funny when you made that comment. I knew exactly what you meant. You could hang on for Oxenholme, then you're off to bed. It's funny, the highlight of the night is getting to Oxenholme or not. Once we get to Oxenholme, the stream numbers will drop severely. Right, well, we've got 2.4 miles into Penrith, so we'll start applying a slight amount of brake. Preston Guildhall used to be a great venue, saw some fantastic gigs there. Yeah, and now it's just empty. It's just sat empty. Been empty for several years. And I don't know if you saw that and the bus station, which is also famous in Preston. But I don't know if it is now, but it used to be the biggest bus station in Europe. If buses are your thing. The Guildhall and the bus station were used in the film Ip Man 4. I don't know if any of you have seen that martial arts film. Yeah, but both are in there. Do explain the tidying comment. So Preston Guild is every 20 years. So he was saying his mum used to say to him, can you go and tidy your bedroom? Preferably before the next Preston Guild. Meaning in the next 20 years. That's what it means. But I thought it was quite funny because everybody does say things like that about Preston Guild around here. Alright, this is Penrith. I go slightly over. It's fine. The coaches will be in. The castle is in as well, like the ruins. But in this one, you remember in TSW, in this one, it's a full castle. Whereas it's a ruin in the other one, in TSW, which is how it is. Right, Oxenholme in 32. Now, will the guard buzz us? I'm listening for it, but I don't think he is. Check the doors are closed. And we'll go without him. Alrighty, let's go. that to 95. Yeah, they were in. They were in. What's the line that goes down the cutting at Preston? Is it the docks? Yeah, Preston docks, yeah. Preston docks, it goes under the road. Under all the buildings and comes out a place called Strand Road, comes across the road. There's a road crossing. The traffic all used to stop for it. Because there's a big sort of oil, I don't know whether you call it refinery. Do you remember the old, do you remember Fina? F-I-N-A? Bit like BP, petroleum sort of company. They used to be down at the docks at Preston, and so the train used to go up and down to the, yeah. And now that route up to the road crossing and in the docks and up to the road where it crosses the road is now a sort of heritage railway in Preston. So you can go down there at weekends. It's all right, but they only go about, I don't know, it's very slow. It's like 5 or 10 miles per hour. It's like really, really slow. And it's not that long. It's about a mile and a half, which is probably why they go slow. But, you know, it's good fun. You're not going to catch me out of Oxenholme. I'm not even going to look to my right when I get to Oxenholme, so... in Train Sim Classic, I think it's part of. I'm trying to think now. One of the two on-track simulation Blackpool routes. Northern Lines. There's Northern Lines and there's Northern Lines Electrified, and one of them, I can't remember which one it is. You can go down the Preston Docks branch in 37. So it's probably the non-electrified version. I can't remember, but I've done it. You've never been into town, you only changed there for a 31 to Blackpool, passing through. Yeah, probably a lot of people similar, yeah. A 66 stall on that bank. A 56, there's Great Western. Yeah, I don't know who that guy is, but I noticed Hentis Rail was getting quite excited. He had his photograph taken with him, and he was quite excited by it. I had to ask him who it was. I didn't know who he was. I know who you mean now, though. Right, 28 to go. ETA 9:51. His real name's Luke. So is that, what's the other name? His stage name or something? Well, I don't get it. After that picture, Hentis took a nap. Yeah, he's never going to live that down, is he? He's never going to live that down. That's hilarious, that is. I don't know nothing about social media influencers. I'm not even on Facebook. Not on Facebook, not in TikTok, not on Instagram. That's for the kids. You don't feel like you're in your 40s, but you are. Kevin says he's a bit of a character. What does he do? I know he's like a celeb train spotter, but he was a male model. Why is he? I don't understand why he's train spotting then. Tell them, Scooby says. If I had to look at Facebook, Instagram, everything else, I would just get social angst, honest to God. I'd be forever checking the thing, and I don't know. I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could do it. You're only on Facebook to keep in contact with the bashers you knew from years back. I think Facebook. Yeah, I think you could use Facebook for all that. But you know, like some people just will add somebody to the Facebook who they nodded to in the street. You don't either, Scooby. I've never done it. I've never done it. I've just. Plus, I don't trust Facebook security either. Not at all. So. So there is that as well. Got YouTube and WhatsApp, that's it, yeah. Yeah. I have Twitter or X. But basically that's just so I can keep tabs on football. I very rarely use it for me, you know. Like each their own. The thought of you know, having my kids plastered all over Facebook for everyone to look at, it just fills me with horror, you know. But you know, everybody's different. Right, time to slow down again for the 80. This is the top of Shap, of course, by the way. You think he's brilliant? I must admit, I've never seen him. I can't comment. I've never seen him. I just saw that Hentis was getting all really excited when he met him, so I wondered who he was. But I must admit, I thought that was his. I thought that was his real name. I didn't know he was called Luke. This looks modern compared to TSW. It does look quite good, this, doesn't it? It does look quite nice. It's very similar. It is very similar. They obviously have a... Both sims have a different look and feel, but you can tell... You can tell it's the same route. You've got your sister-in-law and your mum on Facebook, Dave, yeah. Dave. Right, we've got 15 to Oxenholme. Scout Green, is that what it's called, this area? If TSC had the timetable mode like TSW does, TSW will be finished. True. But again, yeah, you're probably right, but then there's also the console player base as well, which you still wouldn't be able to play this. Console players, you know, I think console players are still the biggest TSW demographic, so you know they're putting a lot of money into TSW. You won't distract me, this is going to be a perfect stop. Through T-Bay we go. Actually, has it got the coloured cottages up here? Not really. The houses are in, but not the Ballamore style coloured ones. You're about to pass in a tractor. Oh, you're off near the Telborn now. Was it you on? No, it wasn't you on near the Telborn. It was. Was it Pete? I can't remember. Pete 888, or was it Steve? God, I don't know. I think it was Waggy Tail Steve. I think he was on near the Telborn, not you. So yeah, give us a toot. 80% are on console. Yeah, it's still quite high, isn't it? Yeah, this. And I don't know how much of that number are still on Gen 8. You know, I'm assuming with the decision to keep Gen 8 for TSW6 that there's a fair few of that number still on Gen 8. The first time you watched one of my streams was Oxenholme, and you stayed after that. That was a famous day. This is the Loon Gorge. The Loon Gorge looks better in TSW. You know, this one's functional. Looks alright. If you hadn't seen the TSW version, then you'd still think this looked pretty good. %23% still use Gen 8. That's interesting. That's quite a lot, isn't it? That's why they've not dropped it yet. There's a few quid in that. Not far from Gen 10, they'll have to upgrade. Yeah, I think so. I think so. I mean, it always depends on people's financial situation, doesn't it? As well, you know. Everyone should upgrade to get the better experience, but it just depends if you can or not. Right, we've got 8 to go. Don't worry, I'm not slowing down. Ready already, in case you were wondering. Yeah, grey rig. Grey rig, I know. Definitely, yeah. I've been on the track at grey rig when I was with the engineers. You wish the Loon Gorge loaded better on the Series X. Or does it take a while to load in? I didn't realise. That's the first I've heard about that. And then it starts disappearing. That's not very good. Now that sounds like that does sound like what Gen 8 should do. If you're on a Series X, it should be no different really to the PlayStation 5. When I'm playing on the PS5, for me, it's as good as being on the PC, I must admit. Apart from the texture issue, this actual route on TSW on the PS5 is fine for me. Steve, you've been watching the streams for years. You have, yeah. The funniest you can still remember is a coastline flight sim miss out. What happened? Oh, I know what you mean. Where I couldn't get me fingers on the buttons and we went straight into the side of the shed, the hangar. I remember. Someone put the accelerate button in the wrong place and we went straight to the side of the hangar rather than slowing down. Yeah, I do remember. It took me a minute, but I remember. Yeah, that was hilarious, that. But you like how I kept it in though? I didn't take it out like some streamers would. Yeah, I do remember. You still got your ZX Spectrum, but you haven't seen a magazine with a tape stuck off here. Well, that's taking me back, yeah. Do you know, when I was younger, I used to like reading them computer magazines showing all the different games that were coming up, and I don't know, something about them. I did get the PlayStation magazine for a while, but I thought, I don't know, it was a bit naff. Got one of those, you know, those magazine subscriptions that you can get where it's cheap for the first year. I might have even got it with Tesco vouchers, can't remember. I had it for a year, but I don't know, I didn't, it wasn't the same. Not like the ones you're talking about. You reckon the PS6 could be 2027? Might be. Yeah, the PS5's the PS5's a bit old now, isn't it? you know, it's easy to forget just how old it actually is. You've driven a tank train into Grey Rig Loop back in the day. Nice. Good evening, John. How are you? PC Gamer, that was it. Yeah, that was one of them, wasn't it? PC Gamer, yeah, exactly right. Yeah, because like the PlayStation magazine had like 3 pages per game. That PC Gamer used to get little sections of a page, so they got more games in that you could read about, which I quite enjoyed back then. Yeah, PC Gamer. What would it take to persuade me to make a greatest fails compilation? Wow. That'd take some editing, wouldn't it? Well, Great Western was telling us that the Oxenholme incident will be 12 months in September. Early September, I think. So it's nearly 12 months. It's not that far away. So we need to do something with that, I think. AP sales usually August sometime. Normally. Yeah, CVG, yeah. No, we're definitely stopping at Oxenholme. We're downhill, we've got just under a mile to go. Mega Drive magazine, yeah. There's so many of them. People, I don't think people read. It's like newspapers. People don't even read newspapers anymore. It's in the price of a newspaper these days, by the way. Crazy. Right, we've got half a mile. I am stopping at Oxenholme. Newsflash. Just in case you were wondering. Look over there, said distraction. Here's the platform, look. So we're going to come in just nicely. Preferably before this signal. It's going that way where I really struggle. Nice and easy does it. Platform isn't real, it's a mirage. I want to stop right at this bloody end of this platform here. There's a stop board there, but... There, how's that? Every carriage in. Brakes have failed. £2 for a paper, yeah, exactly. 87s are rubbish, look at all this. This is not the platform you're looking for. Do stop, or do not. We haven't got a whistle this time, so we know we're good. Right, let's get to Lancaster. 19 miles. And we can do 90. So let's set it. Tied to one sub. Yeah, the screens are good. Yeah, they are good. Yeah. That's a good stop, weren't it? He's off. He's off. Both of them are off. Look. Oh dear. There's still 2 chances of overshoots. Don't forget. It doesn't have to be Oxenholme. It's pretty, that. It's pretty. I'll take a 90 in TSW anytime, if anyone's listening that can make one. Terrible stop. Wasn't a good stop. You're off. Oh, dear me. Yeah, thanks for coming in, Dave. Appreciate it. The first time you went south on this in real life, you're on an 86. Yeah. I've travelled up and down a few times on the 86s and 87s, I must admit. It's obviously a long time ago now, but nice to see him back, even just as a simulator. Which reminds me, Great Western, you said on a couple of streams back that the Cumbrian Mountain Express is in Preston. On, I think you said 2nd of August. I need to look that up because I might go down and have a look at that. I might go and film it for the channel. The Les Ross. I'll have to have a look for the schedule. See what time it's due in. Watch it be about 6 in the morning or something. But I won't mind going down to see it. Nearly at 50 likes. Excellent. $15 to go to Lancaster. It's actually how long have we been live now? 2 hours 28. It actually hasn't seemed that long, really. I don't know what you think. You send me the link in the Discord. Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, because I'll have a look at that. I fancy going down to see it. Being as 86 is a flavour of the month at the minute, I wouldn't mind going and seeing it. There's, like I said it on the Network Southeast 86 video today, but there's a couple of Les Ross liveries appeared on the Raiders Club, and I've downloaded both of them, but they're not as I don't know who's created them actually. They're a very good effort, but they're not as good as the Network Southeast one. There's probably going to be more created over the next sort of few weeks, I would say. Fast 50s on tours, 3 times allowed over the mountains. I'm trying to think where I last saw a 50. Probably East Lancs Railway. I saw one last time, a couple of years back. I just missed the diesel gawler. Actually, I should have gone to the diesel gawler. Streamlads. You know Streamlads is really Stace in disguise. That's what she's doing tonight. She's operating Streamlabs. The 390 NTS with the sound mod. Which sound mod? I think you might have mentioned this before. We'll be at Lancaster very shortly. Oh no, it's Dave who would like to see the Anglia 47 714 at Cornforth, but he's disappeared already. He's done it on purpose so he doesn't have to see if it's there. It would be if it was TSW. It would be there. It's his favourite 47. What are you paying her, a chippy tea? Yeah. It's been very quiet without her, hasn't it? Just saying. Could be lurking. I don't know. That sounds funny from this angle. Like the engine noise cutting out for some reason. This is Cornforth coming up. Yeah, there's just a lack of AI traffic that is non-class 90 on this scenario. That would be my only comment. But it's a decent run anyway, so I'm not too bothered. Yeah, Mark 3s here. She's second on the leaderboard. Yes, because she's been popping in and out all day trying to get the points up, trying to beat Animal. I don't think she'll beat Animal. When did I schedule this? Was it? It could have been Saturday. I might have scheduled it on Saturday, I think. So I think they've been calling in and out, trying to get points the whole time. Even though they told us they weren't bothered about the points. I think they were fibbing. Cornforth is indeed the home of West Coast Railway, yeah. Right, we've got just under 4 till we get to Lancaster. Yeah, Steamtown at Cornforth used to be really, really busy at weekends, you know, back in the day. It's not a patch on what it was. There's a neutral section, which we don't have to bother about. Got 75 very shortly. He retired from the leaderboard after the super chat debacle. Yeah, that was in the was that in the Delta? That was in the Deltic stream, wasn't it? Great Western's also retired from it. Yellow. I'm just checking, because on TSW sometimes this is red. It's gone green now, actually. So we're alright. Yeah, Steamtown's completely nondescript these days. It's a shame. Although, you know, there is the museum, the bit of a museum at Carlisle Station now, because Carlisle Station used to be all shut up, didn't it? And that's had a new lease of life in the last few years, with the cafe and the museum. It is a bit quiet, yeah, it is very quiet. But this is Lancaster, then after that we have Preston, and that is us all the way down from Glasgow. And it'll tell us at the end what our total mileage was. I think it's 193 or something like that. We do cover quite a bit of mileage on these streams, don't we? You know, end to end. Across the various routes. There we go, that's Lancaster. Yeah, 193 does ring a bell. I'm sure it's 193. Horseshoe Curve, yeah, I was playing Horseshoe Curve the other week as well. I've not been on that in a long time. Very slow route though, isn't it? On this route, your average 30 FPS. What have I got? I've got 45 there coming out of Lancaster. Why am I in... hang on. Must have been the alarm again. Took me into neutral. We like good long routes. We do. We get about a bit. Got a peak down this way this weekend, operating the Torbay and Dort Express. Looking forward to that. Oh, nice. Yeah. Brief Encounter Cafe you've yet to visit. Do you know, it's very good. Very good. Been there many times, yeah. Because it's not far from me. Even if I drive it, obviously it's only what 25 minutes, half an hour. But sometimes I'll drive it and just, you know, rather than catch the train where I have to go to Preston to get the train and then park the car and all the rest of it. Yeah, you enjoy the heavy freight. Yeah, I quite like the heavy freight. As I always say, the heavy freight is my Sunday morning go-to. Right, shall we give it a boost? Preston, 20 miles to go. Transport East Anglia, how are you? A plane's decided to do a flying display this time of night. Scooby says if ECML South is not on TSW6, you have to help out the disappointment by doing some ECML streams into King's Cross and Moorgate. Yeah, we could go into King's Cross on TSC. Yeah. Definitely. Do a bit of East Coast Main Line. Like I said, I will be recording the whole of the East Coast Main Line at some point. As soon as I get my new internet put in August, I'll upload it, because it's obviously the whole run to Edinburgh is like several hours, like we did over the 2 live streams. But I'd like to record it as a video, because the West Coast Main Line one, the whole route, does quite well on YouTube. So, and it's surprising how many people keep going back to it, watching it in stages. So I'd like to do the same with the East Coast Main Line as well. So, last time we took the Azuma down from Edinburgh, which was pretty good, over 2 nights. But I'll record it as a video as well. I've got quite a few scenarios for the south end of the East Coast Main Line as well in TS Classic, so we definitely should do some. I've got some with the 325 as well, the Royal Mail train, which are quite good. Yeah, no problems with the frame rate. It's hanging about mid-50s there, so it does look quite sharp. I mean, it depends how your PC is as well, really. You like the clouds but not the trees. These trees, yeah, I haven't got the AP trees. These are the standard trees, these ones. He was slapping a like for that. I like it, slapping a like, yeah. This is Goldgate, or TSC's rendition of Goldgate. You always tell with a chimney. Right, I'll turn that frame counter off. Moorgate branch 325. Oh, 313. Look, Scooby's getting all excited now, look. I like that AP 325. It's very nice for like an EMU. Right, I should probably speed up. I've got the speed set too low. Put it to 100, shall we? Whilst we enjoy this last run down to Preston. You don't like units, Thunder. There's a few of you don't like units. I guess we should try and cater for everyone with a bit of both occasionally. There's a stutter, a little bit of a stutter. You do get that now and again where it's loading the scenery up. TSW could do with better clouds. They're a bit smudgy looking. You never know with TSW6. Each time they do skybox improvements each time they bring out a TSW normally, so there might be some improvements there. Again, we don't really know. There has to be some reason for going to TSW6, and usually tweaks like that are all part of it, so fingers crossed. The bus is on rails. Podcast. Don't set Peter off. He's been quiet for a while. You mentioned units. He wants a whistler. He wants a whistler on every route. That's what he wants. Only a whistler will do. You grew up overlooking the Hornsey Depot. Yeah, very good. No, we do a mix of low-con units, don't we? Generally. Plus, whatever the new TSW route or loco is that comes out, we always play that, for a bit. It just happens that the most recent one was the 86, which is, I think one of the better ones that has been released in recent times. I don't know a couple of you that picked it up. I think you were one of them, Peter, actually. I said, was it, in the end, was it worth the £20? I think you were one of the ones who said, actually, you would have paid a bit more for it. I kind of knew it would be a good pack. Especially if you're familiar with the 86 already. If it's completely new to you, maybe not so. But, if you're a fan of it. You're working Trinker at Cricklewood, right? Got you. Yeah, whistlers sound brilliant. Yeah, we always like to get a whistler going. We did it the other week, didn't we, on the Manchester airport. Kevin, love to see a 50 in TSW, give some thrash up Shap. The problem is, you see, this is the thing. We'd end up being on this route all the time. Because it's a classic diesel route, isn't it? Any new diesel like a 50, we'd be on this route the whole time. We wouldn't go anywhere else. Just wondering from a distance, I wonder what that was in front of us. It's scenery. I thought there was something on the track in front of us for a minute. Maybe I've been driving too long. You know me, I can thrash up and down on this route all day, but I don't want to just become the Preston Carlisle guy. I think I've already got a bit of a reputation for it. There's nothing wrong with it, don't get me wrong. But, if we do ever get a new section of Wcml, we'll thrash it on there as well. Like that, the other night when we did the 86 rail tour up the East Coast Main Line, I quite enjoyed that. That was a good thrash. If you were playing, you won't be in any hurry for Manchester Airport or the Cardiff branches. Not your type of thing, the little networks. 50s didn't run on this route when Shap is set in TSW. Yeah, but neither did the Pendors. But honestly, the feedback I've got from just running those 2 Pendor scenarios that we created on the TSW over Shap route, you know, a lot of people are not bothered. Yeah, it's not really a thing, but you know, people had West Coast Mainline South and they had the Pendor and they wanted to give it a thrash somewhere else. So I get what you're saying. And if you really can't suspend your belief, then, you know, I get it. But, you know, there's a bit of fun in it. There's a bit of fun. I'd rather pay 30 quid for a decent low-quid stock pack, 20 quid for a popcorn. Oh, dear. Yeah, 50's on Paddington Reading, yeah. Yeah. Why not? Thing is, you know, TSW could go on for a long time. They're never going to run out of things to... they're going to run out of things to make. I mean, where is the Deltic? Let's just say that again. Where is the Deltic? Can you imagine if the Deltic came out with whatever route comes out, the UK route, the TSW6? Can you imagine, like we had the Pendolino as the deluxe edition DLC on top of it? Can you imagine if it was a route that had a Deltic as the deluxe? That's got to be a license to print money, surely. A properly modelled Deltic in TSW. Honestly, a lot of you there, your mouths are watering right now because you know what I mean. And you guys would say to me, what we're running this week, I hope it's the Deltic. And then the week after you'd say, I hope we're running the Deltic. You'd want Deltic every week. And I wouldn't blame you. See, Kevin, we do need the Deltic. There you go. We do need a Deltic. You took the 390 on high speed and Wcml Peterborough to Doncaster. Yeah, yeah. Right, we got yellows. We are approaching Preston. So we will reduce the power. Got a 95 coming up. Then the 80. The Deltic has to come out. It could rail to on any main line route, yeah. That was the AWS. That'll slow me down. There's a fail for you. That's me pressing E instead of Q. Well, we needed to slow down anyway. And my mum's is coming up now on the left. In fact, she is... there's St Anthony's Field from the TSW video. That's St Anthony's Field. And my mum's is over here, of course. That's a good place to. That's a good place to stop. Let's go back in. But yeah, this is the field in the TSW video. Right. Let's take the brakes off. The good thing about the 90 is dead easy to get going again. Because just like that, we're off. Looks a bit different in Preston Classic. I'm sure you'll agree. The church is weird. And there's no school. It's houses. The high school is in though. The high school is not in TSW. That's the high school. Yeah, B45, yeah. Yeah. We slowed down for the mothers. Which is over there. Right in there. Did that on purpose. I'm saying nothing. Yeah, the Deltic. We were using the Deltic, of course, the other week. The standard Deltic. It's all right, but it's not like what we could get, is it? So there you go, TSW Deltic. Salmon paste and a can of Tizer, why not? From Redmond's in town. The beef paste actually was alright from there, I'll be honest with you. St. Walburg's kind of looks more like a mosque in TSC. Not got the same grand appearance. Anyway, we're nearly there, as you know. Make sure we're at the 35. And we're going into platform 5B as we go over Watery Lane. Blow it right down. That was a single yellow, was it? I think we got a green here. Have we? Which one's our signal? I think we're over here on the left. This is us. Yep, we're all good. This is a Deepdale branch going off up here. Up there. Track's taken out in this version. In the TSW version, the track's still in. And Ladywell House, where I used to work, excuse me, is here. It's now a hotel. And there's a road there. The sidings were all here, of course, which are all in the TSW version. Welcome to Preston. 5B, yeah, it's quite a rare one. It is, yeah. An 85, yeah, class 85. So many choices. Preston Station looks weird over on the left-hand side with no windows. There's no glass. Yes, remember I was telling you about the line to Blackburn, which used to run out of this platform. If we look out of here, you can see the bridge a bit better. You see the railway bridge? So the track used to run sort of through here, underneath, past Debenhams. Debenhams obviously wasn't there, but it used to go off under there. That's the actual footbridge. And it used to go off to Blackburn up there. Yeah, you can see it a little bit better in here than you can on TSW for some reason. Well done, driver. We hope you have enjoyed this merged route and scenario. Yeah, it was a good run. Very good run. Let's check how many miles we did before we go. We did 192 miles. I wasn't far off, was I? I said 193. 2 hours 54 in the Class 90 intercity Swallow, speeding 10 times. Penalty brakes applied twice, as you kept reminding me. Yeah, so that is it for tonight. Hope you've enjoyed it. It was a good run. Didn't take as long. It didn't seem to take as long. I did say 3 hours. We've just gone over by a minute. But it was good. Thanks everybody for coming in. Thank you for the likes and the chat as usual. We'll be back soon. Keep your eye on the feed for the next one. Until then, enjoy your evening, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, everyone. Bye for now.